to be on. So we're going to record. All right. All right. So thank you very much, Amanda, Sherry, and Mackenzie.
Hello, I'm Sherry Daniels, president of the affiliate in Wisconsin, and our state bird is the robin.
Okay. Seeing lots of robins right now?
They're just coming back.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
Hello, Mackenzie DeYoung. I am the Iowa affiliate president, and the Iowa state flower is a wild rose. So basically our state flower is a ditchweed, but you know.
All right, let's go. Demi Johnson, Emily, and Katie.
Hi, everyone. Demi Johnson, Iowa president-elect, and our state bird is the American goldfinch.
Hello, I'm Emily Marison, Ohio's affiliate president this year, and our official state beverage is tomato juice.
Right. Any reason why it's tomato juice?
We raise a lot of tomatoes, I guess is the...
Okay. All right, Katie. Oh, Katie,
sorry. I'm Katie Krause. I'm not feeling well today, but I didn't want to miss this meeting, so I'm a little slow.
That's all right.
I'm Katie. I'm from Nebraska. I'm president-elect. I know a lot more about Ohio because that's where I'm from, and it's not an official thing, but Nebraska is the location of the largest sandhill crane migration in the world. So that's going on right now. It's pretty amazing if you ever make it out this way this time of year. So, awesome. And snow geese. We've had like 3.5 million snow geese on like Nebraska lakes this last few weeks.
I only had a glimpse of the Nebraska sandhills once, and it was pretty amazing. So
it is just amazing. If you ever want to come out this way, let me know. We'll get you connected. It's spectacular.
All right, let's do Courtney, Jessica, and Mindy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Courtney Aldrich. I am the president-elect for Michigan, and our state reptile is the painted turtle. And what's kind of cool about that is that became the state reptile because there was a group of 5th graders who discovered we didn't have a state reptile. So they actually kind of created this whole effort and got the legislature to approve it. So kind of love that.
That's awesome. I grew up in the Ozarks with lots of turtles. Those where we would find a turtle, put it in a box for a day or two, and then let it go. And sometimes we'd paint it like we would paint it. I don't think we probably do that anymore. But all right, excellent. Thanks, Courtney.
I think maybe I was next. Jessica Trussell. I am on the ambassador committee, and so I'm going to visit with you later. But from Missouri, and our state tree is the flowering dogwood.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mindy Mays, Indiana. Our state pie is the sugar cream pie, but I'm actually going to share a county first. I work in the city that was the first electrically lit city in the US, and they still have this like really weird looking thing downstairs in the building I work in, which was the first like light orb.
Mindy, what town is that?
Wabash, Indiana. If you're ever in our courthouse, come to the extension office and I'll take you down to see it.
The reason why I ask is because have you read the book, The Secret History of Home Economics?
I have not.
Well, it kind of links to why we're all gathered here today. One of the roles that extension educators and home economics professionals had when electricity came out was helping people buy into electricity, and not buy into like financially, but into the idea that electricity could help save them time and energy and stuff. And they would do, in Iowa, they would do things called electric circuses, where they would put up big circus tents and have washing machines and stoves and things like that, lights, lamps, and have people come and try and experience the electricity so that they would see how beneficial it could be, because our rural communities really push back on electricity. And if you are a fan of the Yellowstone and all its spinoffs, in 1923, the show 1923, there's a scene where some people are trying to convince the main characters the benefits of electricity, and it didn't go over well, they weren't impressed with electricity. So, all right. So Daniel, any updates on peeps that are in the Teams room?
Nope, I was the only one in there for over 5 minutes, so I jumped out.
Okay, all right. Well, it was on the agenda and I sent out an email just now, so hopefully we'll have some more folks join us, but if not, we are recording. So, all right, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna pop a couple things into the chat box. I'm gonna first pop in, oops. Okay. All right, so here is the NEAFCS website. Hopefully you're very familiar with this website. Take a minute right now to log in, because I'm going to put another link that we're going to use for a breakout here. So what you're going to want to do is have accessible the affiliate toolkit, and it was in the email that was sent out, affiliate updated toolkit. So I'll also pop it in here. So you've got several different ways you can access it, either in your email, you can click on the link, or I also pop the actual document into the chat. Sometimes my computer acts funny when I pop it in when I try and access something in the chat. So I wanted to give you lots of different options for how you might access it. And Jessica, I'm going to have you jump in and be a part of this activity too. What we're going to do is we're going to put you in breakout rooms, and actually I need to do one more thing in the chat room. Or in the chat box. We are going to do a scavenger hunt with the affiliate toolkit. And so our goals actually for today are a couple things. One, to network. What we always hear is how much you all want to share and talk together and talk. And so we're going to do some networking, but also as a, well, the other thing that we hear is that members don't know where the resources are or how to find them or what the resources even are. So we're going to do a little exploring around the resources. But also we often as a board struggle with how to help members know what's available. So that's why we're going to do this. And so the last thing I'm putting in the breakout room is our scavenger hunt. Not in the breakout room, sorry, in the chat room. Oh, I have to, hang on, I have to close it first. All right, so in the chat, there is a scavenger hunt. I'm going to break you up into groups of 2 or 3, depending upon how it shakes out. And then I'm going to set the breakout room timer for about 9 minutes. So there's 15 questions. You're probably not going to get to all of them, and that's okay. Just explore the toolkit, see what you can answer, and then we'll come back and do a little bit of debriefing. So let's pull up the breakout rooms. 2 participants, create options. So you've got the scavenger hunt available. You've got the affiliate toolkit available. Any questions before I click open all rooms? All right, well, don't be surprised if you have anybody jump in. If anybody logs in, I will pop them into your one of rooms. Introduce yourself and then get started.
Well, we have had some big changes in the last year, so there might be things that have changed.
We've had changes, things change, and we want your feedback. So every year the board looks over this, we provide feedback to Danielle to make changes. And so if there's something in here that is no longer relevant from your perspective, or there's something that you find that you're doing that isn't included, let us know so we can update it. And then if you have questions about the affiliate toolkit, who can you reach out to? What are your options?
Regional director, national officers, or national office.
Yeah, excellent. On the front of the affiliate toolkit, there's some information at the bottom, but you can always reach out to your regional director, and I'm happy to answer questions. Actually, I love it when y'all send me questions. How many duties and deadlines, how many affiliate positions are covered in the affiliate toolkit? Mackenzie did the 10. And do all affiliates have to have all 10 of these positions? No, that is probably the number one question that I have gotten as regional director is, what does our state have to have and how does that all work? So right away when I got into this position, those were lots of questions I was asking Danielle about. When affiliates have changes to their officer positions, what should they do?
Fill out the officer contact form.
Yeah, and send that anytime you have any updates. And we want to make sure that someone is in each of those positions, even if they're not maybe doing something at the state level, someone needs to be in those positions so that information gets to your state. Someone who can trickle that information down to the rest of your membership. Speaking of trickling information down to membership, one of my sticky notes is to make sure that you've all communicated with your members about the email situation. Emails are getting blocked a lot. Even as many emails as I get from Danielle Jessup as the executive director, I still have lots of those that end up in junk. And so work with your members to make sure that they are getting the emails. And there was an email sent out last month about how to make sure that members do that. If you need a reminder on that, please feel free to let me know and we can re-forward that to you. No matter when we're at, when we ask members about benefits and things like that, one of the things that comes up is that members don't hear about things. Well, our main avenue for communication is through those emails. And so the executive office is working really hard to work out kinks on their end. And we're trying to have members work on the things that they have control over on their end. All right. Which is one goal on the current strategic plan you think our organization is meeting?
Well, I'll share. I thought we did a great job in kind of the awards and recognition as we talk about scholarships. We offer scholarships to JSEP, we offer scholarships to PIL, we offer first-timer scholarships for the national conference. So we do a great job of offering them. However, I know they're not always utilized, as usually we get the one per state email, but the closer it gets, it's if you have others that would like to apply, there are still positions open. Yeah. So I think we're doing a great job in offering them.
All right, thank you, Mindy. If there are other, many of you may already know this, that the board is going to start working on our strategic plan. You may have noticed that the current one that we have expires soon. And so if there are other things that you think that we're doing well or things that you think that we should focus on, I'm sure there will be opportunities for members to start giving us feedback, but I thought this was a great opportunity to get a little bit of feedback from you. And I did see, Mindy, about the email, so I made a note about that to get that to you. So when are all membership dues must be postmarked by December 31st? Is this true or is this false?
True.
Hey, this is kind of a trick question. It is actually false. Membership dues only need to be postmarked by December 31st for awards and officer candidates. So members can join anytime throughout the course of the year. And one of the things I learned last year is if you register on July 23rd, if open bird registration is still available, you can still register as a member. So it doesn't have to be by the 31st, which can really help for recruiting anytime during the year. Members can individuals can become members and get that member rate for the conference. They can qualify for some of the benefits like webinars and things like that. And it was intentionally tricky, Jessica, because immediately we think, yes, they are due by December 31st, but actually it's just for awards and for officer candidates. When are bids due from affiliates wanting to host annual session?
January 1, 3 years in advance.
3 years in advance. And I throw that out there because things are happening right now for our annual conferences way down the road. So I've been in multiple conversations for Michigan. We will be having it in Grand Rapids again per our contract for canceling it. But in our board meeting Monday, we're starting to get bids for the 2026 one. And speaking of the Michigan one, that annual session will be more like a regional model. So we will have some liaisons in Michigan, but they don't have the capacity like they did when they were hosting it as just Michigan. And so they'll be looking to some of the states in the central region to support that endeavor. So watch for opportunities to be a part of that planning. Let me know, let Danielle Jessup know if you're interested in being a part of that. And Jessica had a question.
What year will that be?
2025. So 23 is in Rhode Island, 24 is in Tucson, Arizona. That will be our 90th anniversary. And so we're planning, having some conversations about that. 25 will be in Michigan. And in 26, it will be in the southern region. That as we rotate, it'll be in the southern region. And so I don't know if since it's still in the talking phases, if it's appropriate to share where we're looking at going. So you can wait for some announcements on that as things shore up. All right, what month are voting delegates names sent to regional directors, and who is responsible for sending these names?
August.
Okay.
And
And who's
affiliate president, I think.
Yeah. And so I want all of you to have that on your radar. In July, the whole month of July, you're going to get, not the whole month, in early July, you're going to get a list of your current membership. And it's going to be your opportunity to say, oh, wait, Cindy, we have 5 more members that aren't listed on here. And then whatever that membership is on August 1 is going to determine how many delegates your state affiliate gets at the annual session. So we want that membership as accurate as possible. And so in July, that will be happening. And then the executive office, they will get those memberships, and then they will send out an email that, or maybe it comes from me, that says how many delegates your affiliate gets. And then you need to send those delegates to me. And then there's a list put together, and then those delegates actually sign in. Now, I know some of you on the call were delegates last year, so you kind of know how that process works, but kind of have that on your radar. July is a really important month for membership because that's when you're going to verify who is part of your affiliate. When are awards materials available? Oh, how often should affiliates finances be audited?
Yearly?
That was kind of like a question. Yeah, yearly. And so are your affiliates doing that? Are your finances being audited yearly? Something to kind of pay attention to. When are award materials available to be sent out to affiliate members? Somebody said it.
I don't know if anyone got this far. I feel bad answering the questions.
Go ahead. So it's December, and that's important because you don't have to just start thinking about it in December. You can be planning for what those awards are. It's just the official material comes out in December. And then also in December is Elevate FCS, and all of us can be a part of that. Public Affairs typically chairs that outreach, but anyone can be a part of that. And then Typically the president-elect goes to JSIP, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that person has to. So questions about that quick kind of toe dip into the affiliate toolkit? All right, know that that's there. You have it now. One of the things that in Iowa we do to kind of help recruit new officers is to reassure them that that document is there. And so have that available at your disposal. All right, so I'm going to put some other things in the chat box here now. So we're going to do something now with the action plans. And these are Danielle put you into some new breakout groups, some different ones, so you can talk with some different people, coordinate, network with some different people. And let's see here. Toolkit, where are the action plans at? There we go. And so both the link and the document are going to be in the chat box. And then you're going to, with your team, you're going to choose, I'm going to tell you which action plan to focus on. And so for the awards action plan, Amanda, Emily, and Sherry, you're going to be looking at the awards action plans. Demi, Mindy, and Katie, you're going to be looking at member resource action plans. And professional development is going to be Courtney, Mackenzie, and Jessica. And in the chat, I put what you're going to be looking at. Choose one action plan. So within that category, there's going to be lots of action plans. So choose one. Identify the chair-elect, and the apprentice. Select the number of responsible people on that action plan. You're going to see lots of names. There's going to be a column for who's responsible. Count how many different people have responsibilities on that action plan. And then my number 3 didn't pop. The number actually didn't pop up here, but find in one of the columns is going to be the deadlines. Find the earliest deadline and the latest deadline, or when they hope to have it done, and what those 2 tasks are. So the chair-elect, apprentice, the number of people who have tasks associated, and then what's the earliest deadline or date that they want to complete. The latest, earliest as in away from this date, latest as earliest as the closest to this date, latest farthest away from this date, and then what that task is. Okay, questions related to what you're going to do in your breakout room this time around? You'll notice that, just a second, Danielle, you'll notice that I didn't put anything for public affairs, because you are probably hearing lots about public affairs right now. They are very active with impact statements and with the PILD conference coming up. And then I also didn't assign anyone for the ambassador committee, because Jessica is going to share some information with us about that when we're done. All right, thanks. All right, so Amanda, Emily, and Sherry are going to be awards. Demi, Mindy, and Katie, member resources, although Katie just noted that she's jumping off. And then professional development is Courtney, Mackenzie, and Jessica. Danielle.
Are we doing 9 minutes again?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, let's do 8. Let's cut a little bit shorter so we have time for a few other things.
All right. You ready?
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Do I need anyone out there? All right, welcome Welcome back, everyone. We're not gonna debrief all the things that you talked about related to the action plans because we could go in a million different directions. And the purpose of that was, again, to help you get networking and talk with other people, and just to explore those action plans. Those documents, a lot of time, a lot of energy goes into those documents, and they help guide our organization. So want to make sure that you're aware of those documents, that you know what the committees are working on, and to kind of like tickle your fancy in terms of maybe joining a committee. Lots of people work on those committees. Some do have little roles, some have big roles. We all have a part that we can play on those committees. So as promised, any questions related to the action plans before I pass it over to Jessica to share a few words about the Ambassador Committee? All right, Jessica.
I just can't wait to hear all about the Ambassador Committee. So my question, and since most people have your videos on, just raise your hand if you have at least heard of the Ambassador Committee at annual session. I've got some thumbs up, I've got some nods, perfect. I've got some smiles. I don't know whether, Demi, that means yes or no, but you smiled very big, so I'll take it. Okay, so the Ambassador Committee is a new-ish committee. And I say that because it was originally put in place. We were really excited. We developed it at winter board meeting and we were ready to move forward, and then COVID happened and we went virtual. And the Ambassador Committee is a committee that is for the in-person conference. And so what it really was, kind of why it happened, why it was brought about, was just to really give some structure and support to annual session, to make sure that we kept a top-notch professional conference and that we had some specific supports in place to assist not only conference goers, but also the national office, because they are doing a million things in annual conference. So that we can assist there, we can assist with presenters, we can assist with the guests and the speakers. So it really is just a committee designed to make sure the annual session runs smoothly. But we have some pretty specific tasks. So we try to make sure that we really try to reach out to some of the individuals who are first timers, try to assist them. We had blue armbands last year. We'll probably have those again this year, just to kind of signify that if you are lost, if you need to know where the bathroom is, if you need to know where the meeting room is, the ambassador is someone that you can reach out to. They also serve as concurrent session hosts. They, like I said, assist with attendees and hosts, and really the purpose is just getting those individuals who are willing to, if Sydney is walking around and she looks a little lost, I'm willing to step up and say, hey, can I help you find something? Can I be that support? So the goal, kind of our idea, is that we would hopefully have at least 2 ambassadors from every state affiliate. And it isn't necessarily like a nomination process. We did ask presidents last year to help kind of put some names forward. So what we are asking our affiliate presidents is to help share this opportunity with your members, to encourage at least 2 people to apply and go through that process. If you still have your action plans document open, we are on page 32, so we're the last committee listed, and you can see in there that we plan to launch the application process in late May. And one of the requirements is for the ambassador. So we'll do selection, we'll do notification, and then there is a required training that ambassadors will go through. And we'll talk about all the steps and all the areas where ambassadors might be able to assist. And then we also have, last year, Will provided us with an overview of the conference hotel. So that way, when we went in, we had an idea of where are the rooms, where's the grand ballroom, where are all these things located, where's registration, that we weren't coming in kind of blind from that situation. So there will be a required training that if you don't do live, it would be a recording that you can watch later. The applications are going to be due, we're planning early June, and selection would be completed by the end of July, and then we will notify our ambassadors at that time. The training is going to be August 16th. So we do know that date, and just to let you know, we're going to be sending out an email to all affiliate presidents, and it's going to have some verbiage in there so that when Emily gets that email, she can copy paste and send it out to her membership. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to get this information out. Cindy, I'm pretty sure we're sending this a similar email to the regional directors as well. So those will be coming to help with that kind of marketing piece, but we really wanted to jump on and just give you a little bit of overview if you weren't familiar, and then have a chance to kind of ask some questions. So do you have any questions about the ambassador committee, what the ambassadors will be doing, or just anything in general about the committee that we can answer today? Seeing some no's.
Well,
Demi
just
smile at me again.
If they have individual questions, are you able to hang out afterwards for a few minutes?
I actually am helping monitor my office, so I am gonna jump off.
Okay.
But I will put my email in
Perfect.
the chat. I am currently the past chair, but I will be happy to answer any questions with that. And you can see on our action plan, we've got our contact information on there as well. So
Thank you,
we're
Jessica.
small but mighty.
Thank
Small but
you.
mighty.
So reach out to Jessica if you have additional questions and watch for those emails. Demi's asking, so do you recommend folks from other committees and or voting delegates? I actually will kind of answer that for Jessica. The ambassadors I know are on other committees and they can be voting delegates. And so that absolutely can play a role. Voting delegates will be play a role at the regional meeting and at the annual meeting where everyone votes on candidates and things like that. So those are the two times that the voting delegates are pretty key. And then whether or not the other committees, it just depends on what you have time for, for meetings and things like that. So,
and Cindy, I will add that you can serve on the ambassador committee. And you can also be an ambassador. So there are two different parts there. And so, yes, our ambassadors do lots of things. We had ambassadors that were presenters last year. We had ambassadors who served on other committees. So yes, most definitely you can do multiple things. And I will say one thing we did do last year was, if ambassadors wanted recognition, we did send that to their supervisors if they provided us with that information, just to say that they were selected and kind of explain a little bit. So it is, if you do some sort of non-tenure track or some sort of promotion packet, that was something that could be in your record as well.
Jessica, and we know that some of our members do need that sort of a thing. So, okay, other questions. I know I had one that was suggested, but I want to see what questions all of you have related to your roles and your affiliates.
I have kind of a big question. So I don't know if you want me to start, if you want to start with that or not.
I'm guessing that's the one that I was that was suggested for this
Danielle.
meeting. So go ahead.
So our board met, oh gosh, was that last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever, at some point in the last few weeks, and we are still grappling with, well, first of all, we are newly talking about having some student members. We haven't really had a lot of interest in having student members, and we have a few right now. And then we are grappling with how to approach the associate member. What is the word for it? Not qualification. What was that?
What the
like the left one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna pause for just a second, Mackenzie. raise your hand if you're able to stand for another 5 or 10 minutes to talk a little bit about this topic of affiliate or of student member and associate members. And Emily is shaking her head no. So what I want to do is I have just a really short, like, Menti wrap up that I want to do, and then those who can stay on, and then there's a way, we'll have Danielle explain, there's a way that we can use the listserv as a forum and have some additional conversation that includes all of the states in the central region. So here is the Menti that I'm going to put up, and I'm going to share my screen. So what do you enjoy most about being a leader in NEAFCS? So go ahead, and hopefully it's working. I wanted to send everyone off that needed to leave right at noon with some good vibes about the role that they play in our organization, about being a leader. And then we'll come back to Mackenzie's question for who can stay on. Is anyone seeing anything? Is it working? Oh, there we go. Menti is just outside of my comfort zone, but I wanted to step out and do something that was a little more collaborative to end our meeting. All right, I will let those of you that need to log off go, and we'll leave this open. You can continue to pop in words. I'm going to stop share though. Thank you everyone for being able to stay on, to being on with us today, and we will look forward to more conversation over email. Hi, Misty. All right, so back over to Mackenzie. Questions about, to kind of encapsulate what Mackenzie's looking for. Their board is struggling with how to move forward with student member and associate member, and what the qualifications might be and that kind of thing. So what, anything else related to that, Mackenzie, to spark the conversation?
Yeah, so kind of just what the states are doing, what they're charging for those memberships, and like at the state level, and then what benefits you're listing as that at the state level.
So Courtney, Misty, Mindy, Demi represents Iowa as well. So have you all started to put on pen to paper regarding student and associate memberships?
We have, and I'm trying to pull it up right now. We started revising our bylaws around this. So as far as charging, I think we are actually decided to keep our, because the national dues are being cut in half. And I think we actually determined to keep our state dues the same. That is just because I think the benefits they're getting at the state level aren't really changing, is kind of where we were at. But there's a couple things that some specific ways that we might have had some questions around this as well. So let me pull up some of our stuff that we're doing here. Yeah, I'll pull it up and I'll see what some of our specific things are. We're trying to model really closely after what the national bylaws are doing. So we're trying to mirror that as much as possible, unless it doesn't make sense for our state in some ways. A lot of the conversation we've had have been around the privileges, sort of like, how are we going to determine what they are or are not allowed to do? And how do you make it enticing for them to join, but then don't give them so many privileges that the other members are like, so what's going on? You know, so that's kind of some of the conversations we've been having.
Mindy and Misty, have you started to do anything with the student or the associate member yet?
No, I don't know if we'll do anything with student. We do have some questions on associate because I think our community wellness coordinators could possibly join now. Um, However, they have since started their own professional organization when they joined Extension because they couldn't join at that time. So I don't know if any of them would want to join or come over.
Gotcha. Misty, how about you?
No, we haven't started, any kind of discussion either so far. Right now, it's just what the national is. Sorry, I was late. I'm at a conference in Spokane, so.
Well, we're glad you joined us. What and we're actually wrapping up or whatever. What Danielle, can you remind us how we can use the email chain as a forum? I know that in the past sometimes there's been some confusion as people respond all and how that all works, and so what would be the most professional, effective way to use the email address as a forum for this conversation?
Sure. So the email address that you typically receive emails from Cindy, that is actually a two-way street. So that's a listserv for all of you to communicate with every central region president. So although Cindy's typically using it, if you all have questions very specific to this topic right now, how are you handling associate members? How are you, changing your benefits or are you raising dues? That is absolutely something you can use this form. Now, it does get sent to all. There is no way to exclude individuals from it. And of course, all of the emails, if you know how to use the system, is saved. So at any point you can go actually into the system and see every single email that's been sent. So let's say you're not really interested in this topic at this moment because you're not having this meeting for a while, you can kind of ignore the emails. And then let's say months down the road, you want to look back at the conversation that occurred and start collecting data or whatever. You can log in and actually see all the emails that have been sent. And so I'm going to drop, everyone should be familiar with this, but I'm going to drop this e-list here. That is the one that you all should have access to. If for whatever reason there's an error, we get the affiliate officer forms. That's how we update these e-lists. So if we haven't received your updated one, please make sure you sent it. But if there's an error, for example, if Cindy goes to send an email and it gets rejected, either because she's not on the e-list, we can correct that and we'll let you know and resend it. Or the e-list does have a 5 megabyte limit. So if you have a large file, I recommend uploading it to a Dropbox or something and sharing a link and not actually attaching. I would do as little attachments as possible. We get those notifications as well. We had to let Cindy know that happened earlier this week. So we keep an eye on that. We see every single email that goes through. And like I said, it's really an opportunity for you all to have access to the affiliates within your region. Cindy also has a way, because we have 4 regional directors, to communicate with the other regional directors. So if Central Region is, having a discussion and there isn't really a good answer coming from the group, Cindy can go back to the other RDs. They can do the same thing within their e-list and kind of utilize each region to, better assist everybody across the country. So hopefully you can use that. That's not just for this one topic. This is for anything. You want resources, you want templates or something. This is your opportunity to connect.
And for clarification, that listserv, that central_pres, goes to all the Central Region presidents and the president-elects that have, so all of those individuals get that. So
yeah.
So it could be something that, Courtney, you could follow up and say, per the conversation that we had in the Central Region President's meeting, I've attached, here are some of the things that that Michigan has been thinking about regarding associate members, and then there can be some discussion back and forth. Or Mackenzie can throw the question out on that listserv and some conversation can be started.
So just to clarify, I just send like a regular email to central_pres@neafcs.org and it'll just go out to everybody. Okay, perfect.
because it's not used very often, my suggestion for that purpose, and last year getting ready for annual conference, there was some like confusion over that email, like listserv. What I would probably suggest is saying, I learned during the Central Region President's meeting that I can use this as a forum, and Iowa has a lot of questions about this, so that people know that why they're getting that email and how you're using that email.
Yep, and I would make your subject line very in a way specific or something, because that's kind of how you can sort. You know, if you're looking for a topic to go back and reference at some point. So if you want to put like discussion on associate members or just discussion on bylaws or something, that might help everybody, you know, kind of be able to see the different communication within that e-list.
And I can kind of not monitor, I will watch that conversation. And if it seems apparent that it would be beneficial just to bring states together, just to have a conversation about that for a half hour, 45 minutes, then I'm more than happy to put something like that together and get it on folks' calendars, so that, so that you can have some FaceTime, actual time together to kind of dig into the nuts and bolts. Last year at our March president's meeting, we actually used a Google Doc and outlined all the different committees and roles that the different states had and how they were structured, to get a glimpse at how different states are structured. And I have that link available if you want that document. But that was before the associate member was approved. So. All right, well, thank you for lingering a little bit longer. This meeting is being recorded, and so I did pause it during the breakout. So if there's anything that you want to go back to, or if you have individuals in your state that want to watch it, the link will get sent out. Probably because of the hiccups with the Teams, I try and only send emails to you all on the 1st and the 15th, just so that you know that if it's important, Cindy's going to have it in the 1st or the 15th. But I might err on the side of sending an extra email for those that were in the Teams room and weren't able to get into the Zoom, so that they can access our time together sooner than later. So I'll linger if you have any questions or anything else. Otherwise, best wishes for the rest of your day, and I'll look forward to the next opportunity that we have to talk, either via email or virtually, or our president, Julie Garden Robinson, hoped to be here, but they had a huge storm again up in North Dakota, and she had a meeting that got postponed, but she wanted me to wish all of you well and to say that she's hoping to see you all in Rhode Island in September. So have a good day, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Cindy.